It's out. All right. Darnold throw a pick. Oh, there better not be a flag. They've been letting them
There's
play
no
all
flag
day.
there. There's no flag there. We're fine. We're going to win this game.
That's just a nice defensive play.
They've already busted the Mendoza line of 17 points. Defense has played rather well. But
So if you're on YouTube, can you already see me right now? What do I look like? Do I look good?
you always look good. No, I'm not on YouTube yet.
Okay, so you're the only one seeing this?
There's Matt.
Ah!
Come on, stop him. Okay, 54 seconds left. Can't let him score, defense. Come on. I need a sound check, Matt.
Where's my guy?
Yeah, where's Ika? We're waiting on Ika.
No, I'm waiting on Matt. Look at Matt. You gotta talk down our own fucking chat. Ridiculous.
Oh, great drop.
Get
Great
off the
drop.
field. Let's go. You suck. They're not good.
Here, Mary answers your question there, Flip.
Thank you, Mary. Thank you. Wow. DJ Moore.
I mean, Matt Rule's got to be pulling his hair out.
Ooh, I need to plug in my phone. It's gonna die.
So it comes down to this.
I can't do this. I think Matt's probably ahead of me.
4th down and 6.
Yeah, don't look at me. I think I'm ahead of you guys.
Okay, you are.
Yeah.
You're watching local TV. You're not streaming.
Yeah, Matt's live. I can't handle this.
Oh, God, that was the worst play of the game.
They've scored a touchdown on a short field and a blocked punt. Why am I supposed to be upset?
True. I had a nice long talk with Mary about changing our paradigm, and if they do something better than mediocre, to be pleasantly surprised.
What's the paradigm?
It's how we view things.
Oh. It's a complicated word.
Yes. Or it's 20 cents, whatever you figure.
Panthers must get to the 26-yard line for a first down. Empty backfield. Darnold, 4th down. Looking for more.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Oh! Ugh. I know the next play.
6-yard connection. And that's when you go
Yankee, you're sideways.
receivers on the backup cornerback. DJ Moore
There you go. Now you're fine.
wide open.
It switched.
Pressure.
Right in the bucket for him. And gets out.
Now you're sideways. No, turn it back.
Whatever they did down here. 46 seconds left time out.
You can't make this shit up.
Fuck.
You gotta be kidding me.
No.
You gotta be kidding me.
Question is, do they go for 2 and make it? That's what I'm waiting on.
Why?
Fuck. Pardon my language.
I gotta do this for the viewing area now.
You're good, Linka. You're good.
So are we just going to go through overtime or what?
Well, we might as well. We are live. Yankee, you look great. A little cockeyed, but you look great. And a shuttle pass. Game's tied. There you go, Yinka, upside down. I can fix that if you need me to.
Why is Yankee
Hey.
upside down? Purpose?
Hey, too much time for Kirk, man. 42
Too much
seconds.
time for Kirk. Too much time for Kirk. I'm telling you, I'm not worried.
You're not worried.
I'm not worried.
Ah,
Literally
Yankee, how you doing, buddy?
incredible.
Can I just say, right? If you look at a tweet that I sent maybe an hour ago, I said this exact thing, right? The Vikings are going to keep the Panthers into this game, and then Kirk is going to go down, and we're going to get some game-winning field goal, and people are going to be like, "Oh my God, Kirk is so clutch," and I'm like, "This is exactly what's happening."
Yeah.
Like, I much preferred when we were up by 11.
uh-huh.
Kirk, here comes.
Oh, this is something. David Dinner, kick extra points. If you kick extra points, if we'd have had 2 more points.
All game. So if they're clutch here, I'll take it.
Oh, my
He
goodness.
gifted Carolina 14 points.
Steven, we're still here.
Unbelievable.
Thanks for the love
I
from
love y'all
Australia.
watching this game with us.
Yes.
Wait.
All right, let's go. 75 yards.
2 timeouts, 42 seconds.
Just give Jefferson a chance, man.
Give Jefferson a chance.
Man, they've been giving Jefferson chances all
And
night. all
Adam
day.
Thielen's done well. Ha.
I
Figures.
mean, this is exactly what the play calling should have been.
I just saw the next play. Matt's watching live. Yinka, you're watching live, right? You're in the local area.
I'm telling you, I'll go off.
Whereas
audio
Flip and I
because
are.
I'm behind. I'm way
We're behind. Not enough, Captain Morgan. Yes, Mary, I agree. I've got my relatively full glass, and I got 2 in the chamber. I got more in the fridge if necessary. All right, 38 seconds. Let's drive down the field.
This is what the Vikings are the worst at.
2-minute drill. Ooh, he slips a sack. Run, Kirk, run. A little reminiscent of.
Don't you dare go to overtime.
Still got 2
I
timeouts
don't want to
left.
watch this shit game anymore.
Hey, Joe. Welcome to the show.
Can I just say how the Vikings clearly have it in with the NFL to try to make Greg Joseph the most valuable player in the league? We haven't had a kicker be MVP in a long time, so that's what the Vikings are trying to do.
He's Osborne was smart there. Both hands. Boom.
To the 43, and now a timeout taken by the Vikings. You see Cousins' eyes. He was deep. Wanted to go deep. Not there. Nice outlet to KJ Osborne.
What you
Okay,
drinking,
are we
Flip?
on the air or not? I
Yes,
have no
we
idea.
are on the air.
We're on the air.
Oh, yeah, your reaction is live as can be.
What are you drinking, Flip?
I'm drinking a Woodford Reserve.
Mm.
If it goes to overtime, I'm not going to have enough.
Oh, uh-oh.
So
Matt,
it's
what
not
are you
allowed to go
drinking?
we're not going to overtime. That's unacceptable.
Truthfully, even if we do go to overtime, you won't have enough.
What is
This
that?
team.
Hold on. What are you drinking, Yinka? Anything? Seagram's?
Best ginger ale. There it is.
Bring it.
It does make good ginger ale. I agree.
Go ahead. Come on, give me JJ or Thielen one-on-one. Bring it, blitz. There it is. Oh. Okay, Didi.
Yeah, he looked like he got rolled up on.
I'm going to take a 3-yard gain.
As the Vikings call their final timeouts, if they don't gain any more yardage, this would be a 55-yard attempt, and that is Joseph's career long.
Oh my God! Throw it towards the sidelines, please. Just like an 8-yard reception. Out of bounds. Stop the clock.
Breathe, everybody, breathe. Stephen, you and many other of us. Mary's neighbors are probably calling 911. Got a first down. How much time? 14, 13, 12. They spike it with 6.
An opportunity for a second straight game-winning field goal. Yeah, they were in the Panthers defense.
Now I'm watching Matt's face.
This is every game for the rest of the year. Every game. That's what's going to come.
Should I shut my camera off until you guys get caught up?
I mean, you probably should.
No.
No, I
Because as soon as we know,
I don't want
we can do the roll-in. Cardiac Vikes. From the right hash mark, 46 yards. Ice the kicker.
He missed.
What you got?
Bro, my fantasy team is ass. I'm not looking at
Joe has already said.
I'm looking at Joe.
Get ready to hang out, folks.
We're going into overtime.
You know what I want? I want them to throw a Hail Mary into the end zone and just win it.
Yeah, put us out of our misery.
Yeah. I can't believe this team is going overtime. I mean, I can believe it. Like, I actually can believe it. But I don't have the emotional capacity right now to believe it.
No.
Oh, my goodness.
Why can we not make a kick?
Well, we made 3 today.
Yeah, I missed 2.
When they needed their guys to step up the most, they did. So you got to give them a lot of credit for being resilient.
I don't want to watch this game anymore. Okay? Like, show me highlights. Show me Lamar, Matt Stafford. Why do I have to watch another overtime with Kirk Cousins?
You could have just said game, but, you know, yeah, overtime works too.
Double G-Max here.
If it makes you feel better, we're going to get the ball first.
Xavier brothers are here.
Like, what is
Error off. You got to explain that one, Xavier. Double doink. It's our crutch to bear. It's our thorn in our side, Xavier. Kirk and Zim need to go.
Let's just
really got to almost win.
Hey, we can start talking. I mean,
You're up by 11. We're up by 11 in the third quarter. We can't do it. We can't do it. We can't do up by 11 in the third quarter. against the Carolina Panthers without Christian McCaffrey. We can't do it?
Hey, flip it. We got the ball, right? Offense has been looking all right. Let's just go down and score. Don't give them a chance.
We're going to go down and
easy.
score. We're going to go down and score.
Way too much time for Kirk now. A whole overtime.
We got the ball. That means we've won 2 coin flips, right? We won that one. At least we won something today.
I told Dave that Vikings happy hour is going to take a break this week. And he said, if Zimmer gets fired, are you still taking a break? And that might actually happen here if we somehow blow this.
No, we're already in like can't fire Zimmer mode, which is like you can't fire him just because his field goal kicker missed a kick. That happens to every Vikings coach that's ever existed.
Yes, Mary, you have white hair.
This is the worst case scenario, man.
Sorry, folks, that you're hearing our speakers, but we're all watching just like you are.
Oh, I can mute myself. Y'all don't.
No, I got mine going too.
Yeah, I will mute myself.
It is time for the final question. Who is offered the Rodgers ring?
Get Aaron Rodgers off of me.
Aaron Rodgers.
Sorry, buddy, that's incorrect.
Who owns Chicago? Answer, Aaron Rodgers.
Thank you very much. Jessica in the middle, you said me? No.
All right, while we're live, let's get some predictions here, though. Let's get some predictions. I don't know if Flip's going to pull his headset out.
I honestly still think the Vikings are going to win just because like the defense has been playing so well against Darnold. Sans the last couple drives or whatever, but it's just been a nightmare this last quarter.
Patrick Peterson going out, though, I think is going to loom pretty large if we have to put the defense back out on the field.
Such a bad fourth quarter. Why did I not start J.D. McKissick over Gibson? I knew he was hurt.
Flip, what do you got for a prediction now? 28-28. The Vikings are just about to get the ball. What do we got?
We're going to drive straight down the field and score a touchdown.
Dave?
I wish I was that optimistic. I have no idea. This could go either way.
It could.
It could end up in 10 minutes of play and end up a tie.
I got my cherries ready. If you're watching in the comments, let us know where you're watching from. We're going to watch this win together. Let us know.
If it makes you feel better, the Vikings have come out and said that Patrick Peterson is questionable to return with just cramps.
That was cramps?
Yep.
Does that mean he has to take a shit? Well, what does that mean?
I wish it was that simple. Means he needs to be hydrated and up his potassium level. Vancouver, Canada. Oh, Canada. From Derek.
Charles, you're not going to have a heart attack, man. You're a Vikings fan, which means you started like a Atkins diet at least 3 years ago. You're going to be fine. You're going to be fine. You're going to win this game. Adam Thielen.
Adam Thielen's had a decent game today.
Yeah, Adam Thielen's played nice. I think Cook has shown a lot of
See this person right there?
After coming off of a
I'm going to eat some tacos for dinner.
That's my eldest. Joining us for the first time. I appreciate it.
Come on in. Water's nice.
Oh, I got to catch up.
Statistic by Vikings Communication: Zimmer is 5-2-1 as head coach of the Vikings in overtime.
About to be 6-2-1.
Oh, Xavier's at the state fair. Woohoo! Good for you, Xavier.
Kirk Cousins, when he scores a touchdown,
Mary, South Dakota.
I'm going to show my age right now, but when he scores a touchdown,
Steve's out there in SoCal.
He does the Tecmo Bowl celebration. he puts it up. That's Kirk Cousins.
He's got all day there, and he overthrows the ball with Justin Jefferson wide open.
So California, okay, Steve, I'm right
Do you
here.
guys think Pat Pete comes back this game? Let's say we get a field goal. You think he comes back?
If it's only a cramp,
Man, they
they'll
carted
put
him
an
off the
IV in
field,
him.
though. That's wild if that's
Yeah,
just cramps and they
Most.
carted him off.
I don't think he comes back, honestly.
I don't think he comes back either.
No.
Because it didn't look like a cramp.
But we got South Dakota, we got SoCal. Come on, y'all. Tell me
We got
Xavier's
Canada.
watching at the state fair. Let's go. Tell me y'all. Tell me where are you watching this game from? Where are you watching this Vikings?
JJ. Another screen.
I'm watching this game from Purgatory.
Yes. Hey, believe it or not, if you're a snow skier, Purgatory in Colorado is a fabulous place to ski.
Aren't you in Austin right now?
I'm in Austin, but I grew up skiing in New Mexico and Colorado, and Purgatory
You grew
was
up
one
in
of my
Purgatory?
favorite mountains to ski. Well, yeah, I was a Vikings fan my whole life, or just about all of it. Come on, Kirk's got all day.
Like,
do it.
Boom!
There it is.
like,
AJ,
Ozzy
baby.
Osbourne.
like Sam Darnold is like what, 17-41, and it's a tie football game, you guys.
Bro, we're scoring right here. We're driving down the field and scoring. We're doing it.
All you got to do is win the one you're playing first.
Look at those hands.
Double D, you are absolutely 100% correct. Derek's talking about the game manager. Derek, we will eventually have that quarterback. Cooking.
There's going to be 30 seconds left.
Dalvin, is Dalvin over 100 yards yet?
Yeah, he's at like 125 or something.
Okay.
Kirk's thrown for 350.
Yes, G-Mac. And if some
God
of
damn,
Kirk's balls
that might be a
were
penalty.
on, we'd be up to.
Ooh.
I'm not nervous. I'm not.
I have felt like
And G-Mac, if we didn't commit
I
all
don't want to
those
say anything
penalties.
because I know that they're behind us, but
There goes Cooker.
I
What,
thought
you're
he was
afraid he's
break
going to
one
drop the
all
ball
day.
and fumble?
No, I've been waiting for him to break one.
Dalvin's at like a casual 150.
How are we ahead of you, Mary? You should be watching the local. Cook needs a break.
See? There we go.
Another stupid screen pass. Ooh, this looks good from Derek. There's Matt celebrating. I see an Osborne. They're going to win.
Get
All they need is a
outta
touchdown. Double doink says TD. Here it is. Long ball to Osborne. Touchdown. Whoa. Vikings win. Vikings win.
Put it up! Put it up!
I can't imagine if this is going to look at this replay for too long. That looks like a touchdown.
Kirk says you're welcome, baby! KJ! Try to stop Keelan Cole.
Hey.
About KJ
Roll us in.
Hey, let's go to the roll in real quick. I'll zip through it.
First down.
Join the conversation. Get ready to join the conversation. Win or lose, victory or agonizing defeat, disappointment or glory. Climbing the pocket is here. There we go, everybody. It's Dave here. And to my viewers left, my right, we have Yinka, the sexiest man in Minnesota, followed by Matt, all the way there from Minnesota in his green room. And at the far end, on the left coast, we have the one, the only one with his own intro music, Flip Muzzy.
Yo, give me some W's in the chat. W's in the chat. Vikings 34, Panthers 28. First road victory of the year. Let's go. Was it easy? Of course not. None of y'all thought it was going to be easy going into this game. Don't act like you thought it was going to be easy. But they get the W.
Steven, yes, we did.
Got the W's in the chat coming in. Let's do highlights.
Hey, I think we need to talk right away. Yinka's the one here that never swayed on his opinion. He knew that we were going to go down and score. He's been calling it since we went live, even before that.
So here's the thing, you guys. I will forever be a Vikings fan, but boy, am I tired of this stuff. Up by 11, what was it, 4th and 10 on like inside the 5, and they get a 40-yard catch. They score, tie up the game. We go to overtime with a quarterback who I don't even know what the ending stats were. He was probably like 17 and 41 or something like that. Why was this game close? He did everything possible to give us the game. And the defense started to step up even more so. And my problem with this is there are going to be people who are going to walk away from this game feeling good about that performance from the Vikings. And that was my point for my tweet an hour and some change ago, is you cannot walk away from a game like this and feel good about this football team. Because at the end of the day, this should have been a very clear, decisive victory. Sam Darnold has not played well all game. The Vikings defense actually played really well.
No, that's not true. We knew it was going to be a close game. Why are we acting like we're upset that it was a close game? We knew it was going to be a close game into it. So why were we like,
Vikings? But here's the thing, Flip. There's a difference between predicting that it was going to be a close game and then actually playing the game and seeing, oh, no, he's really bad. We should be winning this pretty sizably. That's the difference. We can predict, I thought it was going to be a relatively close game, and then it was like, oh, okay, this should be a very easy game for us to put away. With the weapons that we have on offense and how well the defense was playing, this is a very, very easy game to put away. But the problem is we don't play to win. We play not to lose. The only reason why the Panthers were in that game is because we settled for field goals. We didn't step on their throats when we're up by 11. No, we played not to lose, and that continually becomes the issue with why the Vikings will never become more than a one playoff game winning team at best.
This is a Vikings W.
Come on.
I've got 2 cherries for this game. Cherry number 1. That's KJ.
Honestly, the only W that this stands for is wimps, because that is exactly how they be playing for 60 minutes.
Cherry number 2. That's for the Mike Zimmer defense.
You can take all the cherries, apples, oranges, all you want to. This was not a good performance by the team, and I'm not going to celebrate that. I refuse to enable that.
But
look, there are highlights and lowlights. That's all I'm saying.
But Yinka, this team has showed that it does have the talent across the board and spots to be very good. If they ever put it all together, they can be dominant. Taking this win will put them at 500. They basically have a fresh start to the season going into the gauntlet, right?
But that's the thing is, so to that point, there's 2 things there. One, I completely agree. That is why it's kind of frustrating why we have games like this, because they do have the talent to perform and be way better. This game shouldn't have been close based on the talent that they have, but they keep bad teams in games despite having the players to shut out these teams. And then the second thing is like again, I feel like I feel like Hawkeye in Endgame, right? When he turns to Natasha, he's just like, "Don't give me hope." Like that's how I feel going into every single one of these games because now I feel like, oh, we're 500. We're right back in it. And yeah, I guess from a record standpoint, yeah, we're still in playoff contention.
I'm sorry I couldn't come to you sooner.
But when we face this next gauntlet of good teams, I don't feel like this is going to be a football team that we're going to be like, oh yeah, we probably just bought Mike Zimmer 2 more games, right? But I'm like, why? If they're not going to amount to anything.
We didn't buy Mike Zimmer 2 more games. We bought Oli Udo 2 more games. All right. we bought Xavier Woods 2 more games. I mean,
I feel like we're nitpicking the wrong things here, though. Like, can we just talk though? And this is going back to Yinka's point of not playing to win. They're just playing not to lose. This is 2 consecutive weeks in a row, which I am happy that we won. Absolutely ecstatic. But we still need to this is a glaring issue. They don't know how to put away games. And you can get away with that against the 0-6 Lions. You can get away with that with Sam Darnold and the Panthers. You cannot do that against Lamar and the Ravens coming up. You cannot do that against Dak and the Cowboys. You cannot do that against Aaron Rodgers and the Packers. You have to figure it out now. And that's why there has to be some hesitation with celebrating this victory. Yes, we won. Cool. We're 500 going into the bye. People get healthy. Let's go. But there are a lot of glaring things on this team that need to be addressed before I feel confident saying that we can go into the playoffs and do anything.
I'm not saying it was a perfect game. All I asked for is that we won the game in overtime on a last-second touchdown pass to a guy that y'all told me sucked for 4 months before the season began. So give me your highlights before we talk about the lowlights. That's all I'm saying. Give me your highlights from this game.
But flip to that point. I know you want to celebrate the win. I know you want to. Oh, one second. I know you want to celebrate the win, but this is the problem is we get to the point where we're just so happy with the fact that we win that we're not talking about how can we make this actual winning thing more sustainable. And we're trying to call attention to like, hey, this winning thing isn't sustainable the way that they are playing.
Who was your player of the game, Yinka? Who was your player of the game?
Probably Adam Thielen.
Okay,
AT had a good game.
Who was your player of the game?
I'm going to say it's Christian Darrisaw, and maybe just a little bit not as splashy. Obviously, I do think Thielen played a great game, right? Like, he hadn't been targeted a lot the last couple weeks. He played outstanding, but Christian Darrisaw played very well against Brian Burns and Reddick, and there was a couple, mistakes that he made, but he solidified that left side of the line. Him and Ezra today were very good in giving Kirk some time, except for at the end there when I think Brian Burns just blew past Darrisaw for that.
Yeah, but that was
scramble.
I think that was the only one. Normally, if Darrisaw locked onto him, Burns was done at that point.
Yeah,
I'm quite pleased with his first game
ever.
Yeah.
Dave, who's your player of the game?
I do like Darrisaw, but mine was Tomlinson. Dalvin Tomlinson was a force in the middle, and that whole defensive line. Patterson had Lynch going in there and Armon Watts going in there, and they were all producing. The only names I didn't heard called, I heard Wanham once, but I didn't hear Weatherly. Obviously, Danielle Hunter was Danielle Hunter. He was chasing and causing havoc, and so was Everson Griffin. But Dalvin Tomlinson, for me, out of the big round bellies, especially on the D side, was the player the game needs a game ball. He was awesome.
For me, this is gonna be hot take. I'm going with Clint Kubiak, and
about make me choke on my beer.
First off, you said player of the game, so I need a player from you. But and then
right.
And that play calling, I have a hard time with.
For me, I'm going fourth here. So y'all have already picked 3 players. I'm gonna go with just Patrick Peterson, honestly. I thought we matched up
played
well
well.
with those Panthers wide receivers, better than we thought we were going to have. We were worried about long speed. We never got beat deep. The defense played very well for 3 quarters, and Patrick Peterson was a big part of that. And, was
Can
it
I
a
interrupt
perfect
there,
game?
Flip?
Again, no. Go ahead.
We say that because I was going to tweet something out in the game talking about the defense. Did they really play well? Like,
Yes.
I'm
Yes.
honestly asking that because they got
I
bailed
think
out so many times on drops.
Yeah.
So many times. And so I struggle saying that they played really well today. I think that they played fine, but I don't think that they played to the
Yeah.
level that they're capable of because they did get bailed out a lot.
Well,
And
I do.
I don't know if we can give
yeah.
the defense credit on that.
Yeah, but
I
how
do
many
think
times
there's
are those
upside.
drops because the receivers are hearing ghosts, are hearing, I can tell you from playing, going across the middle, I could hear the linebacker that's 2 yards behind me chasing me, right? How many of that was the receivers going, oh shit, I'm about to be killed, and dropping the ball, right? Versus concentrating on the ball, I'm going to catch it and then go. That's partially on the defense. It's not just that the receivers dropped. Defense may have gotten into their heads. So I'm not going to give it all on bad passes or drop balls. That partially is caused by the defense itself. So I'm going to say the defense played well.
A good defense doesn't let a team go 90 yards to tie the game.
Okay, if you want to just judge one drive, sure, but
That's
mean,
a pivotal. That's
a
a
good
pivotal
defense
drive.
also doesn't allow a blocked punt. What are we talking about here? Like, they played lights out. Lights out. They took advantage of a bad quarterback game, which they did against the Browns as well. But we actually paired that with an offense that targeted Adam Thielen and Justin Jefferson at a high rate. They leaned on Dalvin Cook. They leaned on all of their stars to produce good results. And while it wasn't perfect, all of the reasons we won this game are because of our best players. There's not a single reason you can talk about why the Vikings won this game that doesn't include an Adam Thielen or a Dalvin Tomlinson or a Patrick Peterson or a Dalvin Cook. Those are the guys who won us this game. And those are the same guys who we're going to have to count on after the bye week. So, yes, they have a bunch of cleanup, and we can talk about lowlights, but at least we know that our best players are playing well.
They got him the ball.
Now, is Kirk Cousins one of those players?
I thought Kirk was a little off.
I think Yinka's got something to say there.
Yinka, I know you got things to say.
Honestly, here's the thing. I don't even as much as I bag on Kirk, it's hard for me to completely put any of the issues that we're having on the offense on him because I do think he's playing well. I think the offensive scheme is handicapping him from being able to play better or at least be able to better evaluate how well he's actually operating within the system. Because, again, we're playing not to lose. We're not playing to win. I do think there was a couple of those drives where it's just like, okay, just let Kirk, drive us down and see how it goes. But again, up 11, I understand why you're running the football, but why not just be up 18? And then you don't have to worry about what happened at the very end. And
so you want
again,
less Kirk Cousins, more Dalvin Cook, or you want less Dalvin Cook, more Kirk Cousins?
Well, I think for this offense to run efficiently, it has to be more Kirk Cousins and less Dalvin Cook. Because the problem is the only reason why they were even in this game is because they kept running Dalvin Cook. Now, Dalvin Cook started slow, had a better second half, but the problem is they're running to run out the clock, right? Instead of just like, oh, why don't we just score? Because if we just score, screw the clock because we're up by 18, But they're like, oh, well, there's no way they're going to get 11 points in 2.5 minutes, but they
4
do.
4 minutes, yeah.
And that's, or 4 minutes, or however long it was.
Yeah,
and
it was
that's my issue.
with 4 minutes left when we started driving, we got all the way down to the 20-ish, somewhere in there, right? And then what they do? Handoff, head off. And you immediately I commented on it, told Mary offline, told my daughter, they have now gone into let's waste time and defend the win mode versus let's score 7, go for the 2 extra points, and make it even more difficult and put their, foot on the throat. That's what they should have done. I think that's what you're talking about, Yinka. Is it not?
Yeah, like I said, I don't think any of this is like, I am not blaming Kirk Cousins. I think he's trying his best to operate within this game, and he's actually playing pretty well. But again, the offense is handicapping him because it's a coaching decision, right? It's a Zimmer thing. He is telling Kubiak, do not lose us this football game, and Kubiak is calling I'm sorry?
They were so aggressive. They were so
up until that point.
They were in some moments of the game, but there were other moments where they did wave the white flag. Like, you should. Right.
But my question is that Kubiak or is that Zimmer? How much does Zimmer actually influence it?
It's Zimmer.
It's definitely Zimmer. It's definitely Zimmer. You can, because this has been happening since he's been here. Every OC that we get, it's like they go somewhere else and they're like super, super aggressive, and they're like, oh, it was always Zimmer. It's always been Zimmer.
That's not true. You can't name a single offensive coordinator who went to a different location and was more aggressive. You can't.
What's the old boy's name in Cleveland right now?
Kevin Stefanski runs more heavy sets and more conservative more runs than any coach in the NFL right now.
Yes, Kubiak is a rookie, Stephen. Yes, we know that, and he's struggling through some of this.
I still do think it's on Zimmer. I think what Zimmer does is he says
he's overall in charge.
Hey, he kind of gives Clint the nod of like, yep, we're going to do this, or no, we're not, and then Clint calls a play off of that.
It's like, look, in a game where Adam Thielen is only getting 3 targets, I'm going to hate on the offensive play calling. But Thielen got 13 targets today. Justin Jefferson got 12 to 11 targets today. So we're targeting these guys. And is the play result always going to be great? No, you're going to miss deep shots. You're going to miss the deep over to Justin Jefferson. You're going to miss the fade, which is fine. But when they miss those plays, to come back all the way back and say that we were too conservative is just it's not a good representation of what actually happened.
Well, see, so here's the difference then, Flip, because I'm not discounting that point. But what I'm also adding to that point is essentially what happens is this now becomes situational football, right? Where it's you have the lead, you're up by, let's say, 10 or more points, which is enough for a team within 4 minutes to score twice, like it's been happening, right? So situationally, what a lot of the good teams do, I'm just going to score again. And not just settle for a field goal, or not just settle for, there's not enough time because I'm relying on my defense. But no, I'm going to be as aggressive as score. I would rather this team be aggressive, throw an interception, trying to score, turn the ball over, trying to score, than doing what we keep doing time and time again, which is, I trust this defense just not to keep us in this, to make sure that we win the football game. I want it to be, and I want it to feel like I trust the offense to win, not I trust the defense to help us avoid losing. And that's how they're playing.
Peter, we have enjoyed the win today, especially me and Flip. There is, we're getting into a little bit more than that.
I'm happy with this win.
What to expect coming out of the bye. And as we talked, Peter, this team has talent all around it. On defense, on offense, on special teams. And if it can all be put together and used more aggressively, this team has a ton of promise. But it's that lack of considerable aggression that we're opining at the moment. That's what we'd like to see.
We can talk about serious lowlights. We can talk about Oli Udo.
Well, I'm about to say, we're getting to what were the lowlights of the game. Flip, let's start with you. You ended up with the highlight. last?
I really don't trust this offensive line at all. And it's hard to say because I do love seeing Christian Darrisaw getting in there and getting experience, and I think he's going to be better with time. But like every successful run was Dalvin Cook inventing something out of nowhere. And very early in the game, it was like 1st and 10 run, we're getting stuff for a 3-yard loss. So I just don't think that the offensive line is good enough to execute things on the way that Clint Kubiak wants to run things. And they got the bye week to figure that out.
Hopefully they will. Matt,
But
who's your low
do you
light?
think that you think it's a Clint Kubiak issue, not a Zimmer issue?
I think Clint Kubiak has a very difficult job right now. I mean, he's trying to design things in his rookie season for an offense that has great weapons and not good offensive line play. He's trying to introduce a rookie left tackle into the NFL, a guy that's only been a part of 18 practices in his professional career. And the least he can do is be like, okay, I'm going to target Justin Jefferson and Adam Thielen at a high rate, and I'm going to hand the ball off to Dalvin Cook. To me, that makes sense. Is it always going to go well? Is the execution always going to be 100%? No. But the approach, the strategy makes sense.
Matt, who's your low light of the game?
I don't know if it's necessarily a low light, but this team misses Michael Pierce in the middle there on the defensive line, and it's very obvious. Just too many times that they're just running straight up the middle. And I guess I was kind of hoping more from Dalvin Tomlinson to kind of step up there, and he did in some aspects, but
they did
Michael
move
Pierce,
him to the middle. They put in Lynch or Watts.
Right. Yeah. So I guess it's not a low light, but I'm hoping that Pierce can get healthy and get back after the bye week, because we're going to need him against we come out of that bye week with the Cowboys and the Ravens, and you got Zeke and Pollard, and then the Ravens are, they run the ball more than anybody in the NFL, and so you're going to need some
the
good
quarterback
run defense
does too.
Yeah,
on top of it. Jim didn't like Udo.
I'm also like this is the hot take, but like Kirk Cousins, he's like tripping over his offensive lineman's feet. He's missing Justin Jefferson deep. Like, you had those plays. Kirk has some of those plays like 2 to 3 times per game where he just looks like the dumbest player in the NFL, and we saw that today. So I'll put that out as another low light.
Yinko, who was your low light?
Player or just play?
Either
one.
Well, play is the one that I mentioned earlier about that, that 4th and whatever it was in 41-yard strike. I mean, I just think that that's just not acceptable in any capacity. Now, I will say Darnold threw a hell of a ball. I just don't think that you should allow that to happen. But I need to go back and look at the tape, but as well as he's been playing, I think there's times where we're seeing Everson Griffin's age at times, because I think some of those outside runs by DJ Moore, and just is it Hibbert, their running back. There were just too many times where you were able to say that again?
Chuba Hubbard.
That's what it is. Yeah, there was too many times where he was able to bounce it on that outside on Griffin's side, which I don't know if it was just him or Griffin was either trapped or over pursued. But there wasn't very good contain there, and there was enough times where he was able to pick up quite a bit on just kind of 2 or 3 yard plays, and he's picking up 8 or 9. So again, have to go back and look at it, but I do think that that's maybe an Everson Griffin issue. Could be wrong, but I want to go back and actually watch that to see.
Could be. My disappointment was Oli Udo with all the mental, I call mistakes, like especially being illegal motion and holdings.
A lot of
blatant
penalties.
holdings to get called
a lot of
mental
penalties this
mistakes.
game. A lot of, like, not just on Udo, but
And I
even
want Udo to
Breland.
go. Now my question is, if Udo's continuing down this road of making these sort of mental mistakes, disciplinary style, when do we try Wyatt Davis? And we don't know. We don't see him in practice. But when does Wyatt Davis come up? And if that's the case, if Wyatt Davis beats him out because he's better, I'm cool with that. But it's also disappointing because I wanted to see Oli Udo succeed. I do believe this O-line has gotten better. And I did like that Darrisaw was in there and held his own. I look forward to seeing his grade. It wasn't all that pretty, and there were some technique issues I have fault with, but he did hold his own. So Oli Udo, to me, today had the worst game of just about anybody. I saw, trying to think of anybody on the defense that had a terrible game. And, yeah, there were some times, but there's no terrible. Barr was non-existent, or at least you never heard of him. But other than that, I mean, it is what it is. I was telling Mary, we all want excellence. We expect excellence. There's a lot of talent on this team, and we expect to win. All right, I'm the old fucker.
This is where, like, I agree with Yinka in that, you know, we started the year, and a lot of people were like, this is an 8-9, 9-8 team. And then there were other people who were like, this is a playoff team. Well, what have we seen so far? We've seen that average, mediocre team. So don't tell me that this team is capable of greatness. Don't tell me that this team has a great roster. Don't tell me that the coaches are a competitive advantage, because we can't expect to beat the Panthers by 2 scores. If you came into this game thinking that was possible, that's on you. That's not on me. So right now, like, Christian Darrisaw, good game. Justin Jefferson, he learned an important lesson for the future of his career. But am I trying to project how this team could beat the Kansas City Chiefs in the Super Bowl? No, I'm not trying to do that. I'm just trying to say, hey, we thought it was going to be a tight game. We won a close game. So let's take the right lessons, move into the bye week, and see our young players progress.
We got 3 head nods.
KJ Osborne. Yeah, go ahead.
There's not much that you can argue with there. So I think we've said about all there is to say about this game without going back and rewatching it. And I'm just glad that we're 500 heading into the bye here.
It sucks to say, but, like, what if our expectations are lower? If our expectations were lower, we'd be happy that Christian Darrisaw played a full game. We'd be happy that KJ Osborne scored his first game-winning touchdown of his career. We'd be like, okay, our kicker, maybe we can upgrade there, but at least our young players are playing well. And we'd be saying that Kirk Cousins got to go. That's what we'd be saying. So you let me know what your expectations are. Are you trying to see a Super Bowl run out of this Vikings team?
No, because I mean, personally, I don't think this is a Super Bowl run team. Like, if they got to the Super Bowl, I still think that we would be very, very disappointed that they would just get trampled on. And that's where I'm at is I know it's not a fair expectation to be Super Bowl or bust, right? Because the team is going to be it's going to always just be either just good enough to get to the Super Bowl, you might win or lose, or they're going to be middle of the pack or just bad, right? I think the frustration comes with I feel like this is a middle of the pack type team, and I hate being that kind of team because I'd rather just be bad so that I can get good faster, right? I can be in range to get better players, like a really good quarterback or that tool on either side of the ball that's really going to take this team over the top. But the problem is that we keep staying in that 10 to 17 range, and I'm just like, that's why we don't improve. That's why we can't get out of the middle of the pack because the teams who went from being not that great to really good really fast were bad for a few years, and then they got good. And the problem is that the expectation is always that we play like an average team. Our record shows that we're an average team. Our quarterback is playing obviously well above average, but at some years he was playing really right at that middle of the road. And the expectation is still Super Bowl. No, like the teams who are making the Super Bowl are like really destroying teams, right? Or when they're playing really good teams, it's a really close game, right? It's not like some aberration of like, oh, well, how the hell? Like that's why we think it's so weird how the Kansas City Chiefs are playing lately. They just got 3-3 because we have expectations around that team, right? But for the Vikings, it's like our expectations are Super Bowl, but we don't play like a Super Bowl caliber team. And it's not to say that to only be a Super Bowl caliber team, you have to have a Mahomes or a Jackson or any of those other quarterbacks. It's just to say that this team is clearly a middle of the road team. And well, yes, but
I've done that argument before. You do,
yeah. I mean, you do, but like the reality of it is we don't right now. So I would just rather this team just be bad, and then it's like, okay, then my expectations can be just like I want them to be bad so that they can be good, rather than I want them to just remain in this average so I can keep having this hope that it's ever going to just improve overnight. You know,
all right.
We talk about the Minneapolis Miracle because of the fact that it's like it was a miracle to us, but that's not a good thing.
Let me tell you. All right, me being the old man of the group, right? I've been around. My first game was 69. It's been forever since I've been a Vikings fan, right? Unfortunately, you get used to this. King of the dipshit teams, right? We're the worst of the good and the best of the bad, and we're in that upper mediocre range all the time.
We don't have to do this right now. We don't have to do it every week. We don't have to do it every week.
But what I'm saying is,
we're going to play the good teams.
Right. But what I'm saying is you get used to that. And so if you change your mindset, right, and get used to it, because yes, I want to get better. I want to win the Super Bowl. I want to dominate. I want a team that goes out there and scores 50 points every game, right? But if you settle for, all right, we are who we are. If we get a good win, right, enjoy it, right? Today was a win. We can enjoy it. Do we expect wins out of the gauntlet? We may get one or two unexpectedly, but most of us don't expect those wins.
I disagree.
And we're probably going to shoot ourselves in the foot overall. We always have. For 6 decades, we have.
I completely disagree. If you're a Vikings fan, let's admit that you have no idea how they're going to show up against the Cowboys. You have no idea.
No, you don't. But they may play up. Zimmer tends to play up to better teams.
You have no idea how they're going to show up against the Ravens. You have no idea how they're going to show up against the Chargers. You don't know because that's what it means to be a Vikings fan.
Right. I agree.
Every time the Vikings, you expect the Vikings to be good, is the time that they're not good. So like this is a talented team that is still figuring shit out. But don't act like you already know what the end result is going to be.
Let me kick something back to you, Flip, because I agree. We do not know how the Vikings will show up against the Ravens
in the
or the Cowboys or any of that stuff. But here, let me look at it this way. I don't know how the Vikings are going to show up against those teams, but I have a suspicion on how I feel the Cowboys will show up against us. I have a suspicion on how the Ravens will show up against us, right? Because those teams inspire confidence because of the way that they play teams that are either just as good as they are or worse than they are, right? When the Ravens face bad teams, they destroy them, right? This season has been the case, right? Lamar's playing MVP type this season, right? But the problem is with the Vikings is right now they're in this range where it's like they're so like
undependable. They're not. You can't depend on it.
Yes, right.
You're
and that's
depend on it. You're going to be sweating your ass until overtime of a road game in Charlotte. That's what it means to be a Vikings fan. So buckle in and be happy when they surprise you for a win, or just I'm here for we suck and we lost, but we did not lose.
We won.
We did not suck. We won. And
We
we're
are
gonna
now
go
500.
to Dallas and Baltimore after the bye week.
There's
and
life.
We're gonna give it our best. And it's gonna be a close game. And they're gonna either win or lose. It's not gonna be if you're projecting a 14-point blowout against the Cowboys, fine. But that's not what I'm projecting. I'm projecting the team that's gonna show up. Can I guarantee they're gonna win? No. But they play these teams tight. They're going to fight through every game they have this year. And I went back and I looked, what's the most one-score games the Vikings have played in their history? They played 13 games, 13 one-score games in a single season during the 1999 season, and they ended up 10-6 that year. They won a playoff game against the Cowboys. The problem I have is that Vikings fans don't think that's possible. They don't think that this team is geared to win one-score games. Are you kidding me? We've played 5 one-score games. What other team in the NFL is more equipped to win one-score games than we are right now? We're taking lessons from this. We're going to capitalize on it and believe that they can. That's all I'm saying.
With that final note, before we go off on our ways, Yinka, one last word?
Yes, one-score games against bad teams. That's not the same as one-score games against good teams.
Hey, we'll hopefully have one-score games against good teams and win too. I'll take it any way I can get it. A W's a W.
Yeah. Now, well, here's what I will say. I will agree with Flip. The game against the Cardinals game, that was a fun game to watch, right? And I do think the Cardinals are a good football team. We'll just have to see it in the next couple weeks. We'll see against the Cowboys. We'll see against the Ravens what this team looks at, so.
Matt, you've been quiet most of the night. What's your final words?
Man, we're going into the bye week. We're 500. I said it earlier. Let's just be happy and just take this week to re-energize ourselves, because it's going to be a long season. I don't think this team is going to make it easy on us, and I feel like we got a few more games like this down the stretch. So just buckle in, folks. It's going to be a wild finish.
Flip.
I just want to say keep the faith. We went into this game saying either win or everybody gets fired. We won, so now you got to strap up. I'm not going to say it's going to be all peaches and roses. It's clearly not going to be. But you better be buckled up at this point. If you're expecting ease, if you're expecting a Vikings team to easily do things, no, we're going to win these hard games. That's why you're a Vikings fan, to watch them win these hard games. You should be on a vegan diet because you're going to have heart attacks every second and third quarter for the rest of the year. All right?
That's what alcohol's for.
Paleo, that's what I'm saying. So buckle up, because we have so many more of these types of wins to look forward to.
All right, with that, next week, obviously, there won't be a final score because we're on the bye. There will be other offerings. Guaranteed tomorrow night, CTP will come at you with CTP Mondays. Tuesday, it will come at you within the huddle. Wednesday, Matt, unless there's something.
We're taking a bye week.
They're taking a bye week. Unless something pops up. Thursday, Flip, do you plan on? No, you don't plan on because Eric's on the road.
No, here Yankee and I are going to do a show on Wednesday night.
On Wednesday? Or on Thursday?
I just made it up right now.
Oh, cool. I'll be there.
Like Kirk Cousins before a 3rd and 15. Maybe we'll come up short, but we're going to try.
Okay. If you're there, that's fine. Saturday, 2 old bloggers will be taking it off. I got to go to a Renaissance fair and look at people dressed up as Vikings. And then we'll start all over the following week to get ready for the Cowboys game. What do we all say?
Skull
Skull
Vikes.
Vikes.
I
Skull
love the
Vikes.
discussion.
Skull
I
Vikings!
will not be watching any other post-game show because this is the best one.
You got that
Daniel.
right. See you guys. Have a great week. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and ring the bell. And if you're listening on your favorite aggregator, make sure you rate us. And always feel free to join the conversation here at Climbing the Pocket. Skol, everybody.